Aurora Shores, but for real this time. The map is out and I am super excited to head back out here and do it all over again with all of the money, perks, and things that we've earned over on Nez Perce and Transylvania. So we're gonna head out armed with the 338 and crossbow. We hunted with the 338 on stream and it was an absolute blast. And I think having learned enough about the crossbow in our previous hunt, we should be able to manage with Sitka deer, caribou, and stuff like that. And already Aurora Shores doing what it does. There are so many animals out here, including a 2-star adult bison, which is better than anything I saw in early access. So unfortunately we are going to have to let that go, but there's some pretty good looking moose over here, a 3-star mature that's really not all that great, and then beside him looks to be an adult. I think it's a 1-star, so probably we'll end up taking that because I think this guy's got some time left. There's elk way out there, like 800 yards away. But let's try to go ahead and get that moose. They're just under 300. So I'm thinking if we actually 0 for 219 and aim high, that's probably going to be better. And just knowing how powerful this 338 is, we could have a pretty good idea that it wasn't going far. Again, we used this on stream last night on Twitch. It was so much fun. We were making like 500-yard shots on moose, and it's just this particular map being so wide open, it really fits it well. So, I mean, that's a mature too, I think, and it's like 400 yards away. If it stops fairly broadside, we'll try it. I mean, even walking slowly broadside, we can probably do that. It is just that good. So, 0 for 430. We'll have to lead him just a touch. And I mean, they just fold. And to be fair, I would definitely classify this gun as overpowered for moose, but in this case, again, with the wide open shots and stuff, especially getting started, I think it's going to be a decent option for us. I don't intend to make it like my main big game weapon on Aurora Shores, but for today, while the goal is essentially to cover ground, I want to try to unlock some campsites and stuff because I intend to stream this map after this video comes out, hopefully within an hour or so. It just depends on when the video is all done, but for what we're looking to do here, it is pretty much the perfect option. That is a 1-star adult. I hate to just shoot everything, because there is an aspect of hunting pressure. If you shoot too many animals in an area, they will stop using those zones, so I think we're going to let that one go, and we'll just go ahead and claim the 2 that we shot. So I am a little curious about this 1-star adult, given the size of the 3-star mature in the same herd, but I mean, just right lung shot him at 274, and he instantly drops. Oh, that was a 91%. Was it even? Because I thought it was uneven. It definitely was even. That was not what I thought we were doing. So, unfortunate start. Now we know. And maybe that 3-star mature is going to be something anyway, but could have maybe let that one go. As for the second one, despite the fact that we never actually spotted it, I do know this was an okay moose to take, so would have been better off just shooting this one in the end, but I mean, it basically has the same rack, and it's obviously a mature. We double lunged that one at 400 yards exactly, got our lead just about right, got that right in front of the shoulder blade, 66%, matures 1,700 pounds though, and makes us almost 700 credits, so we'll take that. Not that the credits are as important now that we have our money from the live save, but I imagine we're going to be putting quite a lot of things in the trophy lodge, hopefully in the near future, and suddenly I think that money's going to be important again. I'm beginning to get the impression though that maybe our moose genetics are pretty solid on this map. Got another 3-star mature, and he's a little bit gray, but I think at worst he'll hit 4-star. Got a 1-star young with him, so I think instead we'll try to get one of these elk. Now, I wanted to use the crossbow, but the wind is blowing right at him, so I think we'll take this 1-star adult in the back with the 338. As far as I know, the uneven racks, even though they're bugged, still are indicative of subpar genes. So we're going to go ahead and hit that guy. Finally something that doesn't insta-drop from the 338, and I don't think he's going too much further. So I don't exactly know what the issue is with the bugged Roosevelt antlers, but what I believe is going on is that they are subpar genetics, they're supposed to be uneven antlers, and something is defaulting to like the biggest antler instead of whatever uneven rack it's supposed to be. So if I'm correct in that theory, anytime you see one of these uneven ones, I think it's okay to take out. I probably wouldn't do it with the 1-star youngs just in case, but at least for now with the adult ones, it seems from the time we had in early access that that is okay to do. So just left long shot at 133. He was 42%, so that feeds right into the theory. And hopefully that is the case, because it will at least, with those bugged antlers, make it obvious which ones you want to take out. And obviously we don't want to see the super lopsided racks all the time. So if we manage our herds to the point that they're more even and they don't encounter that bug, they will actually look a little bit better too. That is a pretty old looking bison. It's a 2-star mature, in fact. Hopefully we're okay to take that. I'm still hung up on that moose. I thought we were okay to take a 1-star adult, and it just makes me think back to, honestly, both Nez Perce and Transylvania. The first thing we killed on Nez Perce, like, the first thing we killed playing the game as a whole, was a 99%, I think, 1-star adult mule deer. And then pretty early on in Transylvania, we shot a 90% young red deer. So I can make excuses for those because we didn't know how to play, like, in general as a community yet, but you would have thought I'd have known better for the moose, but might have gotten just a little trigger happy getting to play for real out here on Aurora Shores. But that's the first mature bison I've seen all the time we spent in early access. Never did see anything better than an adult, and they really stand out, like, notably gray. So let's take a look at that. We managed to hard shot it, and even still, probably ran 10 yards or so. So some things can take that 338 round and at least run a little bit. Their models are so good, 48%. The horns though, like, I'm almost tempted to tax it, just because I haven't seen even remotely decent horns on one. I don't think we will. I'm sure we're going to find better ones. 2,600 pounds. They are just massive. And before we leave to only 24 pounds of meat wastage. So theoretically, the 338, I mean, that was 100 yards, is actually a pretty viable weapon for them and not going to be losing too much meat. I mean, that's like 0.1% or something. Not too bad. So finally, we might get our chance with the crossbow here today. We have a 1-star mature caribou coming in. And I also noticed up here on the hill, that's a 1-star adult moose that maybe would make sense to take, not the size of the one that we shot earlier. So kind of, you know, learning that on the fly, but it is what it is. But for the crossbow, we'll take kind of the same approach we did in early access. Right around 30 yards is where I was pretty comfortable with it. We're looking at 38-ish there. We can zero for 33, so probably at any time here, we can go ahead and try to slot that into the chest. Make sure we get the scope zoomed in. That should be a vital hit. It looks like it's a little bit red in color for the blood though. But he appears to be stumbling, so I guess we got him. I want to see what the blood looks like, because from a distance it looked red. It is pink, so we got him in a lung. But I do really think, like, the coloration of the mature caribou is just perfect. We can see that bolt sticking out through the neck fur there. So we were a little high. I think he's going to be under 33 yards. It was 29. So pretty close. We could have zeroed for 27 though and been a bit better off. We did though pretty much directly hit the left lung. So can't complain there. Ends up being a 48% 1-star mature. And I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but if this is a 1-star, I cannot wait to see the 5s. I literally, as we were tracking this, I went to check the Whale Hunter Discord just in case. I've not seen one posted yet. I'm sure by the end of the day someone is going to find one, but there are the rest of them up there. None came into the low fitness call, so I think we let them go and move on. So we've managed to get ourselves in pretty decent position on that same 1-star adult we saw when we took the caribou. And I want to try to get that with the crossbow as well. It's going to be a little bit tough just because of that tree right there, because he's going to have to get pretty close. If he goes through on that side, it's going to be 30 yards. A little bit of a quartering angle probably wouldn't hurt there, though we may have to wait for that same exact thing. He's going to be under 30. We just want him to do that, get his head out of the way. Man, that was not something we accomplished. Dropping a moose with the crossbow? I wouldn't have guessed that was possible. We shot, I guess we only made one moose heart shot with the crossbow in early access, but it actually ran 25 yards or so. So what is the difference? It actually, so the difference appears to be this. How much is cavity damage versus how much we actually, like, hit the heart itself. And we also got a little bit of right lung damage that probably contributed. Not bad. What I want to do for the stream later today is work on the missions to earn the other crossbow, because it is the way that you get it. And, you know, I was thinking that it would make our hunts for moose and bison potentially that much better, but if we can do that with the one that we have, I can't wait to see what the other one can do. There is no mistake in that. A 1-star mature Sitka buck, and it's basically a spike. I want to look at that adult though, because it almost looks even, which we've not seen for a Sitka deer, you know, above basically spike size, so that's encouraging. This is the 1-star mature though, and unfortunately 338 is about the best we have. I tried to call those in, and with the wind and stuff, they just were not having it. So good to get him out of the herd, and I think that might actually be our last kill. We've done a decent job at least of covering ground, got I think 4 campsites in total unlocked, and that should help us in working on some of the missions in the stream later on today. I also learned if you want to earn your way onto the southeastern area, the only area of the map that actually is private property, you do that through the story mission. So we may end up kind of doing all in one there, which I think is going to be good. I know some of you guys were asking to do it that way rather than just purchase the pass. So we'll see where we get to in the stream a little bit later on. As for this guy though, I do want to see what the fitness actually is, because a spike as a mature gotta be pretty low. We ended up with a double lung and liver shot, although actually we didn't hit the liver, just the expansion damage of the bullet. A 21%, even an uneven spike. 173 pounds is pretty big for a Sitka deer, although most animals in this game are probably a little bit heavier than you'd expect. And unfortunately, nothing for the trophy lodge today. Maybe by the end of the stream we'll get there, but a pretty good start other than the moose. Hopefully we don't do any more of that, but I'm pretty happy with it. We got to use the crossbow a little bit, got the campsites unlocked, started some herd management, and we'll see where we get to from here later on today. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.